G'day guys, and welcome to this business management lesson. In today's lesson, we're looking at key knowledge point 128. That is Unit 1, Area of Study 2, and the 8th key knowledge point for this area of study. Today specifically, we're looking at business support services, and there is a list of the different types of support services you need to be able to talk about to demonstrate your competency with this key knowledge point. When we're talking about business support services, typically we're talking about sources of support that business owners and managers can go to when they find that there is some element of business management that they're not equipped to handle on their own to the level of satisfaction that they're seeking. Now, there is no easy way to talk about business support services without getting specific and giving examples, because generally speaking, support is support. It can take any form. What I'll try to do in this lesson is help you understand what we're talking about, but in as broad a way as possible so that no matter which context you're given, if that's a case study on an assessment task, or if you're trying to apply the concept of business support to a particular business, you should be able to do that. When we're talking about business support, oftentimes the support comes through informal support networks. These could be a group of business owners that all own businesses on the same street. They might meet together to talk about common issues they're facing. Maybe they want to lobby the local government about permitting parking on that street, or maybe they want to establish a clear way to increase the visibility of their business. If there are often trucks and cars parked out the front of these businesses, maybe they all feel that they're not being seen by enough passers-by. It could be that these businesses want to be able to put more tables and chairs on the footpath to create a more inviting environment for people to come and stop and sit and buy coffee or meals or whatever it is that these businesses offer. Certainly, in certain areas, certain regions, certain streets, or certain business blocks, the business owners might come together to offer each other advice and support, and that would be an informal network. Similarly, business owners of similar types of businesses, but in different geographical regions, might trade information and advice, or perhaps ex-students of a particular school or university keep in touch and offer each other opportunities, establish business contracts, make introductions with suppliers or advisors through this informal network or relationship. Certainly, as long as you're not spying on your competitors can be a source of business support in terms of you could walk into one of their retail locations and get information about how they're arranging their products or how they're pricing their products, how they're staffing their business, how they're displaying or arranging the store, and in being inspired by that, taking lessons from that you can apply in your own business is a source of support. They didn't offer you that assistance. You didn't pay them anything for that assistance. It's informal, but it can be very helpful. Certainly also the previous owners of a business. We talked earlier in this area of study about buying an established business versus starting your own business. If you have bought an established business, the previous owners might be a wealth of knowledge. They might be able to tell you about events in the local area and the impact that might have on your expected performance. Maybe there's a local festival in the main street, and when that's on, you can expect to be much busier, and them being able to share with you that kind of information might be very helpful to you as you plan and manage your own business. Certainly, in many cases, the support you'll pursue as a business owner is going to be much more formal. If you're paying someone for professional support in some area, that's always a formal relationship. Examples might be if you need financial advice, you might employ the services of an accountant. For legal advice, you might employ the services of a lawyer. For planning or construction, you might pursue a tradesman like a builder. There's a list on your screen right now. But any time you enter into a formal business relationship with a provider for their support, that's a formal support service. Now, this key knowledge point specifically names legal services as one of these support services, so we'll just touch on this very quickly. The law is a complex beast, and it can be quite unwieldy. You as a business owner might have specialist knowledge in fruits and vegetables, and you want to set up your own greengrocers, but not having had training in the law might mean that there are certain things that you're not confident that you understand fully, and so it might be helpful for you to seek the support of an attorney or a lawyer to make sure that you've understood your legal obligations and to help ensure that your business is compliant. And a lawyer can, of course, help draft up contracts or help arrange the legal structure of your business, develop a constitution, and all that sort of thing that you might not be equipped to do on your own. Certainly, financial services is another type of support service named in this key knowledge point. And it might be that you're an excellent greengrocer, you know a great deal about fruits and vegetables, you have excellent relationships with suppliers, but maybe you didn't do maths in your final years of school, and your own math skills are something that you have a little bit of doubt in, and tax can be complicated, and making sure that you're managing your bookkeeping can be quite complicated. So you might employ the services of a bookkeeper or an accountant or a tax specialist to help you manage the financial commitments that your business needs to consider. And certainly, once again, named in this key knowledge point is technological services. For any business that uses technology or relies on technology, ensuring that that technology works consistently so that your business can continue to operate consistently is of utmost importance. And if you're not a network design engineer or a software engineer, if you're not a specialist in e-commerce platforms, ensuring that you have access to people who are specialists in those areas is going to be very important for maintaining the ongoing success of your business. Business mentors are also named in this key knowledge point, and this is an interesting concept. If you're familiar with the television program Shark Tank, you'd have seen entrepreneurs pitch their idea to the sharks in order for both investment and a relationship with an established and very successful business person who has knowledge, experience, networks, existing relationships with suppliers and distributors. And it's that kind of support and advice from someone with more experience than you that is the context for a mentoring relationship. So in the case one of those sharks was prepared to come on board and mentor the entrepreneurs, what you've got there is a classic business mentor relationship. Business mentors count as a support service, but the nature of the information they provide, the nature of the relationship between the mentor and the business owner or the business manager is going to be different depending on the business and depending on who the mentor is and what their experience is. But generally, the description on your screen right now should help you describe this in broad terms. Just be sure that if you're given a case study, you're diving into the specifics of what kind of relationships with suppliers are going to be necessary, what kind of advice around competitors or distribution is going to be necessary for the business in your case study. In summary for this key knowledge point, problems in business management arise often when a business owner or business manager lacks the skills to adequately meet the demands of the business. This is especially a challenge for sole traders who early in this unit we identified as having a huge reliance on the owner's skills because there's no one else to help. But if you find yourself in that case, not all hope is lost. You can utilize business support services. And if there is an occasion where you don't have the skills necessary, or within your business there aren't the skills necessary to manage some aspect of your corporate governance, you can use a support service to plug that need for skills or experience. That's all for today. See you next time.